Ladies and gentlemen, the reason I am here today to speak for Roadmap is I am not trying to market Roadmap. 3 reasons. Number 1, I am guilty that I told them to get out of the company when they came the first time. 2 is like Mr. Vishweshwaran said, his chairman Mr. Subbaiah told him, first look what you have around you in your own city and then go outside. So since I'm interacting with a lot of people in the Coimbatore industry circle, I know how many people have lost money in ERP system. So I thought if the ERP system is good, I should come and talk for the city of Coimbatore so that the industries in Coimbatore will benefit. So the first time what happened was we had just burnt around 40 lakhs. The first company changed its name 3 times, which gave the ERP system to GEDEE WEILER. The first time it worked beautifully because we gave bill of materials only for 2 machines. The MRP ran very fast, everything was okay. But as time went by, you heard different problems from different people. The first company said, your people are very rigid, they are not willing to change. Then company went bankrupt, another company took over, they said the same thing. The third company tried to do everything, but when we loaded all the bill of materials, the MRP ran for 4 days. And it was still running or not running, it was hanging. Finally that company also went bankrupt. I had to call that owner of the company and tell him he had his own manufacturing unit. He was making packaging machinery in Chennai for the Pan Parak and all these things. So he took over this ERP company. So I had to tell him, sir, பேசாம உங்க company நீங்க இந்த ERP company எடுத்து மூடிட்டு நீங்க roadmap வாங்கிக்கோங்க. So that is the story of suffering by choosing the wrong ERP partner. Our group company went with something called this cloud business. I don't know what this cloud is about. Some company called, I don't want to mention names, well-known ERP company came and gave some cloud solution to our group company G+. Our CEO wanted to give it a try. I said, okay, give it a try. Within 4 months, another 10 lakhs gone. He said, sir, Mr. Rajkumar, I've decided this is not going to work. So the next thing that happened was I was traveling abroad and I get a mail from my finance manager of G+, sir, we are planning to finalize SAP, sir. So I wrote a mail to him, please don't finalize any SAP, no ERP, nothing. I want to come and meet the SAP team. So I land up one fine day, morning, and I have a meeting with the SAP team. I asked about 50-60 questions from my experience in GEDEE WEILER, in G+. Most of the things they said we cannot do, sir. We have to customize, sir. Then I asked for MRP2. This is a very, very important factor because in Germany many people work reverse. They don't go forward. If I want to deliver a project on this date, when should I start what operation in my company? They said, sir, that is not there in this module, sir. You have to pay another 70 lakhs, sir, for MRP2. So I said, okay, then you go and come back. I will think it over and tell you and solite. I went to GEDEE WEILER. 3 weeks I have not been in my factory. Just before I left, one software I had to write off after spending about 30 lakhs over a period of 6 years, 3 ownership changes. And then I go there, none of my team members are there at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I asked my secretary, where are they? Sir, one ERP company has come, sir, from Chennai or somewhere. From morning 8:30, they are all sitting in a meeting, sir. So I called up, I said, who made these people come into the company first place? Then they told me Mr. Shekhar's name, our GM marketing. I called him and I fired him. என்ன பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கிறீங்க, இவ்வளவு காசு விட்டாச்சு, திருப்பி இன்னொரு ERP கம்பெனி கூப்பிட்டு வந்து உள்ள உட்கார வச்சுட்டு இருக்கிறீங்க. சார் அவங்க வெயிட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கிறாங்க உங்களை பார்க்கறதுக்கு. அவர் யாராக இருந்தாலும் சரி எனக்கு கவலை இல்லை, அவர் கிளம்பி போக சொல்லுங்க. I did tell Mr. Kaplan to leave. He left, he didn't meet me. This is a true fact, and that is the guilt why I am talking to all of you today. So Mr. Kaplan left, everything went into silence for some time. Then people who suffered maximum, our person in planning, he came and said, sir, கொஞ்சம் ஒரு 5 minutes அவங்கள வர சொல்லி பேசுங்க சார், நம்ம என்னென்ன பிரச்சனைகள்லாம் அந்த பழைய சாஃப்ட்வேரில் ஃபேஸ் பண்ணமோ அதுக்கு அத்தனையும் அவங்க சொல்யூஷன் வச்சுட்டு இருக்கிறாங்க சார். Then I called few other people. Everybody started, my own team for the first time. I was always driving the company to go for ERP. And எல்லாரும் வந்து எனக்கு எதிராக இருந்தவங்க ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டைம் எங்கிட்ட வந்து சார் இந்த ERPக்கு ஒரு சான்ஸ் கொடுங்கன்னு என்னை கேட்க ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டாங்க. ஓகே சரி, இவங்க எல்லாரும் வந்து கேட்குறாங்கன்னா there should be something behind it, because I think they did a lot of interview. That is why it started at 10 o'clock and they went for lunch at 3 o'clock. ஸோ என்னென்ன ப்ராப்ளம் ஃபேஸ் பண்ணாங்களோ அத்தனையும் அவரை ட்ரில் பண்ணி they took out all the information from Mr. Kaplan. Then the first meeting took place. They gave reference of UHE. Then I met Mr. Sunil in the club one day and I asked him, sir, what is happening? I heard this Roadmap people are doing something with you. And he said, Rajkumar, I know about these ERP people, but this company is a little different. You can give them a chance. So that is how it all started. Then Mr. Kaplan came. We had a detailed discussion. And the first thing I told Mr. Kaplan, I will give you bill of materials for 3 of our conventional lathes. Each lathe has got 600 different components. You first put that, before even I give you the purchase order, first you run the MRP and show me how many minutes it will take. It came out within about 30 seconds, the result was there. I was totally surprised. Then came the next stumbling block. Our production manager is sitting here. He said, sir, இதெல்லாம் சரிங்க, அதெல்லாம் ஓகே, நான் ஒரு சப் அசம்பிளி கொடுக்குறேன் சார், அதை வந்து இந்த டேட்டில் டெலிவர் பண்ணணுன்னா எப்போ அதை ஆரம்பிக்கணும்னு அவங்க போட்டு காமிக்க சொல்லுங்க சார். சார் ஓகே. Mr. Kaplan was kind enough, he did that also. Then I asked him, நீங்கள் மேனுவலாக கணக்கு போட்டு பார்த்தீங்களா, டேலி ஆகுதா? He said, yes, tally ஆகுது. All that was over. Then our corporate finance manager, he said, sir, இதெல்லாம் நம்ம சார் ERP அது இதுன்னு ஏதா வேணாலும் உள்ள போட்டு எப்படி வேணாலும் மேனிப்புலேட் பண்ணுவாங்க சார், அதுக்கெல்லாம் என்ன சார் கேரண்டி? Then I said, call Mr. Kaplan, I let him with him. After some time we took a decision that he will go to Manatek. So here I would like to thank you, Mr. Mannavan. Our entire team has come to your factory. I think production, finance, they all came back and gave a very positive feedback. Based on this, we started Roadmap project in 3 companies, GEDEE WEILER, UMS Technologies and G-Plast. And within a span of 6 months, the team did prove that what they are capable of. And I would like to share now our experience with Roadmap, certain do's and don'ts. So the content goes like this. As Mr. Sunil said about part numbering, the item master, then comes through the item master you create your bill of materials, then comes marketing and sales, MRP, then the efficiency of Roadmap, then in MRP, then purchase, gate entry, GRN, inventory, finance, HR and payroll. You might see 2 things which are missing here now. That was, to tell you the truth, our last priority. That is production and subcontract you will not see here. We are now on the job of doing it, but this is what that will work because we already tested it. We already gave a sub-assembly module they showed that they are able to do MRP2. If you are able to do MRP2, which is reverse planning, forward planning, any ERP system will do. That is nothing. So based on this, I'll just go about and tell you. Here you can see item classifications, grouping, whether it is a value item, B value item, C value item, steel or casting, is it purchase, international, local, warehouse details, in which warehouse you are going to store this, quality, does the item have to be checked or not checked, lot size and weights of castings, casting weight deviation can also be given, so that நாளைக்கு purchase பண்ணி casting வரப்போ if there is a weight deviation of let's take 3-4%, nobody will get stuck up in passing the bills. Then A, B, C and D, all these things are available except for A, B, C and D. All other features were already available in the roadmap system. We did not have to ask them for any customization. Now, why A, B, C and D analysis, I will tell you in the next slides. So, you can even store drawings if it is a casting or if it is a totally machined out item from outside in your purchase order screen itself. Your pattern details can also be stored in the screen. Now, once the bill of materials is done for all the products, the process sequence can also be done. We have not yet done it. That's what I would like to tell you, since we are not yet into manufacturing. Based on the bill of material approval, the sales can enter quotations, confirm it into order and things like that. Now I'll get into the details. The first point was a customization which we asked. You know, today CNC lathes are made by about 60 manufacturers in India. There is a lot of competition. So always there is negotiation. So we quote one list price, then some corporates will come and negotiate with us for 10 machines, 5 machines, you have to give a discount. So we have a list price and a minimum acceptable price. MAP is the minimum acceptable price. So we asked Roadmap to customize this part of it and give. They have customized it very beautifully, and it's working very well. And when quotation is prepared, system is ensures that you can either click each item between list price and MAP, any rate. On the list price you can give a discount. You can give whatever discount you want, but it will ensure it does not go below MAP. So it is foolproof. Whoever is sitting in marketing cannot underprice the product and sell it. So, and it is all cut and paste. They are able to create quotations in rocket speed. Next, whenever purchase prices changes, for example, we buy a chuck. The chuck is totally bought out, fixed on the machine and supplied. We don't add any value to it. So we have a purchasing price, we have a selling price. Now, suppose in purchase the price is revised and the revision is approved by the management. The salesperson needs to know that there is a margin reduction because the purchase price has gone up. So here again, Roadmap is done this also for us. It comes like a pop-up screen. Same thing. If any difference between quotation and actual order, same can be edited. We can convert order acceptance to a pro forma invoice to invoice. All these things are done by a click of a button and very fast. Then after the sales department has created the order acceptance, planning can run the MRP whenever they want. And the beauty of their system is it calculates the requirement based on the pending purchase request. Already there might be a pending purchase request. It considers that. It considers the pending purchase orders. It considers the FG stock, work in process stock, raw material stock, and then only it generates the requirement. So your inventory is always kept very, very, very tight. So The efficiency of the roadmap system. Here you can see we make about 25 conventional lathes, 25 different models. CNC lathes is about 7 models. We have 123 variants. That means 123 bill of materials. We have accessories. The total number of parts involved in the above categories of products are 16,684 individual parts in the factory. The total number of castings which are purchased and machined is 463. The total number of steel raw material which we buy, different diameters and grades, is 1,103. The total number of items produced out of this 1,103 different types of steel grades and sizes is 3,474. Now the beauty here is, when we run the MRP, considering stock and everything, within 20 minutes we get the result. This is what the other systems don't do. It's as you start loading the system, I think it's something to do with the Oracle magic and the roadmap magic. It generates very, very fast. Then comes, after the MRP is run, we go to purchase. Purchase intent is created by planning after running MRP for A and B class items only, not for C and D items. For C and D class items, Roadmap ERP system will automatically create a purchase intent based on the reorder level and the lead time entered into the system. The next thing is, we have, for example, something called a linear motion guideway, which we buy from Taiwan and also from Germany, 2 different suppliers. Item code is the same single item code, but I can choose this or that depending on lead time, depending on price. So when the purchase person or the planning person clicks that item code, the roadmap system shows the items by default with the item starting with the lowest price, or if you want the best supplier, you can decide, I am not interested in price, I want the best supplier. It will start from there and you can create the purchase, and then rate for each individual item and each supplier can be locked. That means if anybody wants to change, you want to add a particular item from a supplier, you can decide who in the management can approve it. You want to do a rate change, you can decide who in the management can approve it. And when you click an item to release a purchase order, the roadmap system will show this particular item already, how many pending purchase orders are there, with which supplier is the purchase order pending, and what quantity, if any quantity, has been supplied by that particular supplier, how much has been supplied. இதெல்லாம் போய் SAPல கேட்டா 5 பட்டன் கிளிக் பண்ண சொல்றாங்க, அதை போய் கண்டுபிடிக்க சொல்றாங்க. ஒரு ஸ்கிரீனை க்ளோஸ் பண்ணி இன்னொரு ஸ்கிரீனை ஓபன் பண்ணி, finally the person will get fed up working there. Then comes we have requested roadmap to show pending PO and stocks. Now here again I want to tell you, this is the beauty of roadmap. Nama company la there are 2 people in the purchase department. Roadmap has implemented the system. Purchase is working since 3 months. I had a review 3 days ago. See, நான் வந்து இங்க உங்களுக்கு present பண்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி what I did, I called each department person to me. I made them look at this presentation. இதெல்லாம் வேலை பண்ணுதான்னு நீங்க சொல்லுங்க, நான் போய் கோயம்புத்தூர் people கிட்ட இதை பத்தி பேச போறேன். Industrialists, stakeholders, decision makers. I am not going to go and give some fancy talk as though Mr. Kapilan is my friend. Now what I want to go talk is facts. So கூப்பிட்டு வச்சு I called both the purchase people and said, இதெல்லாம் பார்க்க முடியுதா? One man said, சார் என்னால் பார்க்கவே முடியல சார் இதெல்லாம். The other guy said, நான் பார்த்துட்டு தான் சார் பர்ச்சேஸ் ஆர்டர் போடுறேன். சரி, என்னையா ஒரு ஆள் வந்து இல்லைங்கிறீங்க, இன்னொரு ஆள் பார்க்க முடியுதுன்னு சொல்கிறீங்க. Then Mr. Dinesh was there. சார் அது ஒன்றும் இல்லை சார், கிளிக் அந்த ஐட்டமை கிளிக் பண்ணிட்டுங்க, கீழே இந்த பொட்டியை கிளிக் பண்ணால் பெண்டிங் பர்ச்சேஸ் ஆர்டர் காமிக்கும். அந்த பொட்டியை கிளிக் பண்ணால் பெண்டிங் ஸ்டாக் காமிக்கும். ஸோ ஐ டோல் மிஸ்டர் கப்லன் இது ஆல்ரெடி இருக்குது, ஒரு ஆள் ஃபாலோ பண்ணுறாரு, இன்னொரு ஆள் ஃபாலோ பண்ண மாட்டேங்கிறார். நாளைக்கு இந்த ஆள் ரிசைன் பண்ணிட்டு போயிடுவார், இன்னொரு ஆள் வருவார். அந்த ஆள் வந்து அங்கே உட்கார்றப்போ ஏதோ ஒரு தப்பு பண்ணி இன்வென்ட்ரி ஜாஸ்தி பண்ணிக்கிட்டாருன்னா நான் போய் கேட்பேன், நீ என்னையா பண்ணான்னு கேட்டால் யூ வில் சே, சார் எனக்கு ரோட் மேப்லேருந்து சொல்லி கொடுக்கல சார், அதனால தான் நான் வந்து அதை பார்க்கவே இல்லை, அந்த பொட்டியை கிளிக் பண்ணலன்னு சொல்லுவார். வாட் ஷால் வி டூ மிஸ்டர் கப்லன்? ஐ ஆஸ்க்ட் ஹிம். மிஸ்டர் கப்லன், like Mr. Manmohan said and like Mr. Vishweshwaran said, if it is a justifiable point, they go ahead and customize it for you. That is the beauty. So that is why I have written, we have requested roadmap. What I told him is, you create 3 boxes, just not one click. First click, it will show the stock. Second click, it will show the pending purchase orders with the supplier for that item. After he sees these 2, if he still wants to release a PO, third box, if he clicks, it will release the PO. He said he will straight away do it and give. He is going to do it and give. So that is the beauty with roadmap. This is one more important point. In the beginning I told you, I am coming back to it again. Lot size. I told you about lot size in there, this thing. இது ஒரு பெரிய பிரச்சனை இந்த கேட் என்ட்ரிங்கிறது. எனக்கும் மிஸ்டர் கப்லனுக்கும் we had a lot of arguments. Why should I have, already I am having a stores, why should I have one fellow on the gate? Mr. Kaplan refused me. Please take my request, you have one man in the gate. Finally we put a person in the gate. I can tell every one of you, the way our suppliers work, the way we were working, there were lot of inefficiency in the system. Lot of material was coming without purchase order. Purchase orders were put after the material came. The reason is, the company was formed in 1966. Protection, lack of competitiveness, lack of foresight, everything brought in lot of inefficiency into the company. I am not trying to find fault with people who were running the company earlier. We didn't have numbers. அன்னைக்கு வந்து when the market was not open, நிறைய ஆர்டர்ஸ் கிடையாது. ஸோ இப்போ ஒரு பேரிங் கேப்னு ஒரு ஐட்டம் எடுத்துக்கோங்க, இட் weighs only about half a kilo. ஸ்மால் ஐட்டம், just 100 diameter with a 50 or 80 mm hole. இதுக்கு போய் ஒரு ஃபுல் மேட்ச் பிளேட்டில் 10 பேரிங் கேப் வர மாதிரி, 6 பேரிங் கேப் வர மாதிரி ஒரு பேட்டர்ன் செலவு பண்ணணுமா? தட் வாஸ் த திங்கிங் தென். ஸோ வாட் யூ டூ, யூ டேக் 6 different bearing caps, put it into one match plate. So I want to order only one bearing cap A. 100 I order, I will get B, C, D, E, F, everything will come with it. So after it comes to the security or earlier system, after it comes to the store, that guy there in the foundry will say, sir, நான் invoice போட்டு அனுப்பிச்சிட்டேன், ஏன்னா நீங்கள் கேட்டீங்க, அது கூட இந்த 5 இருக்குது, நான் சேர்த்து அனுப்பிச்சிட்டேன். So after that the purchase order will be put. What happened with roadmap? This lady in the security started, நிறைய ஐட்டம் வந்து சார் POவே கிடையாது. When we got into the root cause, all patterns had multiple different components. We spent, because of roadmap, we spent 6 to 7 lakhs in each match plate, only one component. So then came the next question. அப்போ ஒரு மேட்ச் பிளேட்டில் 6 இருந்ததுன்னா 6 ஆர்டர் பண்ண முடியுமா? எப்படி? இட் should go on multiple, 6, 12, 18. They already had a solution for lot size. So we were straight away able to implement that. We cut down our inventory drastically. Excess material coming into the company stopped. In spite of that, sometimes material is coming. That is because of certain understandings. I will tell you one understanding. It happened in March this year or February. I am not talking about a small company, and I don't have any fear to hide anything, because it is a fact. I have got letters in the company. We are talking about FAG bearings. Okay? The sales guy in FAG Bearing and his boss sitting in Ahmedabad or Baroda, they had to achieve their turnover. Sorry, October last year. Their year ending is October. So our schedule was March delivery. He had to achieve the turnover. PO was put for entire lot with monthly schedule. All the bearings came and landed up in January in one go. So this roadmap system showed it. I said, what the hell is happening? Why have you delivered this material? Immediately, that man flew down. This guy from Coimbatore, he came. Sir, our future is in stake, sir. We had to build this turnover, so we sent it to you. I said, what about the payment? Payment, you take your time, sir. So everything is understanding. Purchase and supply is always understanding. Once the understanding is very good, the management can pay a lot of money. And profitability can go down. So I told Mr. Kapilan, here also, one particular issue, gate entry with PO which is released after material was received. I told him I want the customization. Reason is, I will find out how much understandings are there between purchase and supplier. So any material comes to the gate, it will be captured by the gate. Now whether you want to accept it or not accept it is if the PO is there, quantity is matching, it will be accepted. If there is no PO or if excess quantity is coming, it will be kept there. It shows up, he has promised me, it will show up on my screen as top management. How much material is come there, we can decide whether we can send it back or do we want to accept a PO and still take it. That is up to us. So this is what this slide is all about. The next screen you see GR. Now it is working in our company. Whatever I am telling you is working. Some things they are going to customize. All gate entries are on screen at stores. Once the gate entry is put, everything shows up on the screen in the stores. Stores checks the quantity. Stores cannot create GRN if there is a rate variation. That is the roadmap system. You cannot go edit anything there. That is there in the purchase master. Unless variation is allowed by management. Once GRN is created for item which requires QC approval, GRN is posted on QC screen. For items which do not require QC approval, GRN is posted on finance department screen. No entries, nothing. Finance only needs to check whether the MODVAT, whatever CST, all these things are correct and approve the bill. So now here one more point I want to just tell you. One unique thing where a lot of resistance was there in our factory in G-Plast as well as in GEDEE WEILER. Unless finance approves the GRN, stores cannot issue the material for production. Because it is money. Material is money. So, lot of arguments came. Sir, நீங்க வாங்கி கொடுக்கிறதே கடைசி நிமிஷத்துல. நான் மிஷினை நீங்க நாளைக்கு அனுப்பணும்னு சொல்றீங்க. ஆனா மெட்டீரியல் இன்னைக்கு வருது. நான் ஃபைனான்ஸ் மேனேஜர் நாளைக்கு காலையில் தான் வந்து என்ட்ரியே போடுவார். அதுக்கப்புறம் தான் நான் கொடுக்க முடியுமா அசம்பிளிக்கு? அப்போ நைட் ஷிஃப்ட்டில் வேலை பண்ணுறாள் என்ன பண்ணுவார்? ஐ செட் நத்திங் டூயிங். நின்றுட்டு போகட்டும். யூ பை இட் ஒன் டே earlier. That is your problem. You manage your inventory better. But until that value, if it is 50 pieces into 10, 500 rupees gets booked into these finance books, stores cannot take that material and give it inside. The advantage is, after 1 month of my absence, I came back, I went and checked the value, stock value, the stock quantity randomly in our factory 4 days back. For the first time, I don't know, for the first time, I hope it will sustain. 6 different items, A class, B class, C class. All quantities matched 1-to-1 between roadmap and what was sitting in the warehouse. Because the system, we from the management side should also be disciplined. So this is bought out in inventory. We have asked for one very special specialization, which Roadmap has done. We have categorized our items into A, B, C and D class items. Now here what we have done is, there is a reorder level. When you come to a reorder level, you have a reorder quantity. This is normal inventory management. So if I come to 10, if I put reorder quantity as 30, the system will generate reorder for 30. But I told Mr. Kapilan, sir, if there is a recession, என்னால் மெட்டீரியல் வாங்கி வச்சுட்டு உட்காந்துருக்க முடியாது. ஃபவுண்ட்ரியில் வந்து they go by weight. பெரிய ஐட்டமாக இருந்தால் they are even willing to prepare 3 or 4 castings and give. But are we willing to buy only 3 or 4? We put, see, when a system is static, what will it do? It will go as per the reorder quantity and order 30. Here we are bringing dynamism into the system. It will check the pending order. If the pending order level on 30 castings, if it is a A-value item, pending order is only for 5. You can order only 5. You cannot go order 30. Why are you accumulating unnecessary inventory just because you fixed one figure? So they have already done it. I didn't have the time to check it out after I came back, but this is a must for all industries. So same thing for B-value items. B-value items, you are given an allowance of 25% more. The allowance can be fixed by us. C and D-value items and raw material, castings, everywhere we have brought the same system. I don't want to go into detail here. This is one more thing. You can see small casting items in this picture. What Roadmap team did is, they said, sir, unga store kullara pona ekkachakama unwanted item irukku sir. So ella unwanted item thukki velila pottom. Enna item bill of materials irukkudo, they insisted for each item we want a rack, we want a location. So we created that for Roadmap. We invested about 6-7 lakhs only on racks and bins. So it's just not going for a Roadmap system which is going to make it work. You need to have a place for everything. Unless you do that, it is not going to work. You can see small castings, and these castings were all clubbed together in one match plate. So if I order one, the other one will come along with it. And in that one, there will be porosity in one batch. So when I reorder this, again some more of the other will come. So I am seriously telling you, we have cut down our inventory. Thanks to Roadmap and thanks to implementing all this, we have cut down our inventory drastically. So this is some of the investments what we did. These are all for round cast iron parts with holes. We have developed a system where we've got like a hook which is put into these rods. I'll show you the next picture. You can see here. Each location is for one part. Top shelf is one part, bottom shelf is another part. Like this, we created a warehouse for 140 or 200 different small castings to maintain the inventory. Then on the other side, we invested in patterns and match plates. This is an assembly trolley. Again, you can see, I'll show you the next picture. This many number of trolleys we made for the assembly. In Roadmap system, when you do issues for assembly, one is the manufacturing parts. All the manufacturing parts go straight to an assembly stores. Then you have bought out parts. You have screws, washers, shim rings, O-rings, seals, all small items. So what we did is, we created these trolleys, and in each trolley we have put these bins inside. So when one trolley goes to the assembly, in the Roadmap system we enter in this trolley how many items have been issued for how many work orders. Another trolley is empty waiting in the stores for the same sub-assembly. The other trolley which is in the stores will be filled for next month's plan. This trolley will come back empty. All these systems we were able to introduce because of also the demand put by a roadmap on us, just not we demanding on them. So you can see here it's got a lock and key. ஏன்னா நம்ம ஆள் என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, அசம்பிளியில் அவன் ஸ்க்ரூ டைட் பண்ண சின்ன கிரப் ஸ்க்ரூ இருக்குங்க. நம்ம கரெக்டாக இப்போ குவான்டிட்டி வாட் வி கிவ் when we went and cleaned up, you won't believe if I tell you the figure. Over 25 years accumulated amount of screws, washers, nuts, bolts was a whooping 5 lakhs. We took back from the assembly, put it in the ultrasonic cleaning machine, cleaned it and reused it. Reason is, கீழே விழுந்தா அதை தூக்குறதுக்கு சோம்பேறித்தனம். ஸ்டோர்ஸில் கேட்டால் எப்படியும் கொடுத்துருவாங்கல்ல, போய் வாங்கிட்டு வந்து திருப்பி எடுத்து மாட்டிக்கும். ஸோ கீழே விழுந்து கூட்டி எடுத்ததுக்கப்புறம் தூக்கி அதை ஒரு பின்னில் போட்டு வச்சுருவாங்க. இந்த ட்ராலி சிஸ்டம் யூஸ் பண்ணதுக்கப்புறம் ரோட் மேப்பிலிருந்து கரெக்டாக அந்த பில் ஆஃப் மெட்டீரியல்ஸுக்கு பார்ட் போக ஆரம்பித்ததுக்கப்புறம் they started fights because in the bill of entry some parts were missing. அசம்பிளி ஆள் வந்து, சார் இதை போனாமல் கொடுக்க மாட்டேங்கிறாங்க சார், எனக்கு சரி ஒன்று எச்சா கொடு, சிலது அலவன்ஸ் மாற்றப்போ உடஞ்சி போச்சு சார். we started having accountability for every screw, washer, nut, bolt. So that is what a good ERP system can do. So you can see here, this was the advantages we got. Then we have primary responsibilities of finance. I told you earlier, finance has to clear the GRN, otherwise stores cannot issue the material. G-Plast also it is working like that. Here also it is working like that. Then we have all these things in finance are working, and we have also taken the P&L. There were some difficulties in the matching the P&L because the data were not put correctly. Roadmap has got so many features, as Mr. Mananathan was telling, training, knowledge, and using the software. There are so many accounts created. People have to get to know more of it. HR and payroll, I think all 3 HR managers are here. I think everyone are satisfied. That is running. Last month we ran the payroll through Roadmap. Everything got posted in finance. So we have paid the payroll through the Roadmap system. It's working perfectly, and even all the deductions late coming. I have a friend in Chennai, very big company called Autotech, Mr. Jayaraman. I heard late comings reduced because the deductions in salary started increasing after Roadmap was introduced. So in every way, all I can say is, I think I have done justice to me sending you out, Mr. Kapilan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
I hope Coimbatore industry will benefit from whatever I have presented here. Big thank you to all of you, and particularly I would like to thank our entire team of people from G-Plast, GEDEE WEILER present here, and I don't know every individual's name in the Roadmap team, but the 2 main people who are interacting with me, I should give them a big hand and a big thank you. It's Dinesh and Rajesh. They have been totally dedicated, and Dinesh troubles me whenever he wants to, and as Mr. Sunil said aptly, don't agree to many things what your people want. I have also told the same thing to him. So whenever certain things he feels it could be dangerous, he immediately calls me and talks to me, and we sort it out. So with these words, I wish whoever is interested, I do know ಎಲ್ಲ 40 லட்சம் 30 லட்சம், I heard all kinds of figures. விட்டாச்சு சார், இனி வேலை பண்ண மாட்டேங்குது. எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சு there are very very few products which will work, and this is one among the few. Give them a patient hearing, and Mr. Kapilan has worked out something about scalability, starting from 5 or 10 users going upward to whatever number of users. Utilize the chance, it's up to you. whether you want to become more efficient or not. With these words, once again, thank you, Mr. Kapilan. Thank you, all of you, and all of you here. Thank you.